So this is a tutorial on how to form the perfect tense in German. In other words, how to say what you have done or did in the past. So an example of this in English would be I went to bed, I ate breakfast. And in English we can use one word, so I went, I ate, for example. However, in German they use two words, so let's have a look at what those two words are. We call them the auxiliary verb, so the auxiliary, and then at the end of the sentence we have the past participle. So first of all, to look at verbs that take the perfect tense with haben. We've got ich, du, sie und es, wir, ihr, sie and sie, and then the different parts of haben. It would be very advisable to learn these off by heart, haben, and then the other verb that we need to learn off by heart is sein. So the verb to have, you must learn these off by heart. Ich habe, du hast, sie und es hat, wir haben, ihr habt, sie und sie haben. So how do you form the perfect tense? How do you say what you have done? Well, you take the subject, so whoever has done the verb. So that can be ich, du, sie, es, etc., etc., the right pronoun. Take the correct form of haben, either of those ones that have just come up in blue there. And then you create a past participle from the main verb, so whatever it is you have done. Many past participles have the form ge at the beginning and t at the end, so spielen, gespielt, wohnen, gewohnt. That would be the case for all regular or weak verbs, as we call them in German. For example, kaufen would be gekauft, hören, gehört, tanzen, getanzt, spielen, gespielt, machen, gemacht. So I bought would be ich habe gekauft. He did, hat gemacht. We danced, wir haben getanzt. She played, sie hat gespielt. They listened, sie haben gehört. You did your prep, du hast deine Hausaufgaben gemacht. We played tennis, wir haben Tennis gespielt, and so on. There are other verbs, however, where the past participles take the form of ge at the beginning and en at the end. Some of them also change their vowel, so trinken, for example, would become getrunken. This is also the case with these other verbs lesen, essen, treffen, sehen, geben, nehmen, and many more. So lesen becomes gelesen, essen becomes gegessen, treffen becomes getroffen, sehen, gesehen, geben, gegeben, and nehmen, genommen. So here's some practice. I met my friends. How would you write that in German? You can pause the video after each one if you want. So I met my friends. Ich habe meine Freunde getroffen. He drank too much. Pause the video. Hat zu viel getrunken. We watch TV. Pause the video. Wir haben ferngesehen. They ate pizza. Pause the video. Sie haben Pizza gegessen. You read a book. Du hast ein Buch gelesen. You, plural, met my dad. Ihr habt meinen Vater getroffen. However, there are many verbs which take sein, the verb to be, as part of the perfect tense, as part of their auxiliary verb. And this would form, in most cases, this would be for verbs which are verbs of motion. So rather than ich habe, it would be ich bin, du bist, sie und es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie und sie sind. So again, you would need to learn the verb sein to be off by heart. There is an exception that not all verbs are verbs of motion. For example, the verb bleiben, to stay, which is the complete opposite of motion, takes sein in the perfect tense, just like in French. So ich the verb sein, just a wee reminder of the different parts of that. We've got ich bin, du bist, sie und es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie und sie sind. Useful verbs with sein. Well, you've got your verb to go, so I went would be ich bin gegangen. To travel, fahren gefahren, so ich bin gefahren. To come, kommen, ich bin gekommen. To arrive, angekommen, ankommen, so der Zug ist 10 Uhr angekommen, the train arrived at 10 o'clock. To stay, bleiben, ich bin geblieben. To depart, abfahren, wir sind 10 Uhr abgefahren, we left at 10 o'clock. To go shopping, einkaufen gehen, wir sind einkaufen gegangen. And to go skiing, Skifahren, Ski gefahren. So here's some practice with the perfect tense. How would you say I went? Pause the video. Ich bin gegangen. He went to Germany. Ist nach Deutschland gefahren. We went skiing. Wir sind Ski gefahren. They went shopping. Sie sind einkaufen gegangen. The train left at 10 o'clock. Pause the video. Der Zug ist 10 Uhr abgefahren. And the last one, I arrived on Tuesday. So our verb is ankommen. We want to make it angekommen at the end, and it takes sein in the perfect tense. Ich bin am Dienstag angekommen. Okay, so just a wee word on word order in the perfect tense. Just to keep you right, you've probably noticed this already, but I went to London would be ich bin nach London gefahren. So the past participle, the bit in red, is at the end of that sentence. So the subject, if the sentence starts with a time phrase or an adverb, then the subject changes place with the auxiliary verb, the helper verb. So on Tuesday I went to London, am Dienstag bin ich nach London gefahren. So here's some practice of word order. I want you to change that sentence from ich bin zu Hause geblieben and start it with yesterday, with gestern. Pause the video. Okay, so gestern bin ich. So it's what we call inversion, word order with inversion. Gestern bin ich zu Hause geblieben. Next one, hat Fußball gespielt. I want you to change that to at the weekend he played football. So start your sentence with am Wochenende. Pause the video. So am Wochenende hat Fußball gespielt. Okay, wir haben gegessen. I want you to change that to in der Mittagspause. So start with the time phrase in der Mittagspause, in the lunch break. We ate. Pause the video. Good. In der Mittagspause haben wir gegessen. Some more practice of word order. Yesterday he went to London. How would you translate that? So you're starting with gestern. Pause the video. Gestern ist nach London gefahren. Next one, at 10 o'clock the bus arrived. So you're starting with 10 Uhr. Pause the video. 10 Uhr ist der Bus angekommen. On Friday I played rugby or netball, so you're starting with am Freitag. Careful, this is a haben verb as well. Gut, am Freitag habe ich Rugby oder Netball gespielt. Danke.